Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks. So this is one of the advanced copies of Too Many Cooks from Good Games Publishing. So I met up with Kim Reebok from Good Games Publishing at Gen Con, and he was able to give me one of these. This is actually a game that I played the prototype of at Gamma in March, and so I am a little bit familiar with it. And it is kind of a pretty interesting visual and party puzzle game. So Good Games Publishing is a publisher, the catalog of which I'm pretty familiar with because they've done Funfair, they've done Unfair, they've done Guildmaster, they've done Land vs. Sea. They actually have a very exciting one upcoming that was a lot of fun to physically interact with, and it was called Drift, and so I'm looking forward to sharing more about that. But this is a collaborative or cooperative game with a few kinks or kinks in the hose, snags in the gear, wrenches in the pudding. You know what I mean. It's got too many cooks in the kitchen. And what you're doing in this game is quite fun. It's this visual puzzler where you've got these different cards laid out, and they're different foods, different food types, different colors, and different. So it's different colors and then different fruits. And what's fun about that is you create this pattern, and then you have a shared group of goals that you have to complete. You have a shared group of preferences or tastes that, as a collective kitchen, you are trying to manage and to make happen. So you might want, 3 eggplants and 2 tomatoes, but you may want the 3 eggplants to not be in any of the same rows, or you may want the 2 tomatoes to only be of the yellow color. You're going to have these different goals that you have to abide by, but at the same time, you're going to have personal goals that you are trying to make happen as well. And those personal goals, those secret goals, no one else is going to know that, and you've got to have it figured out. So these are starting layouts. If you're going to, check it out, this is going to tell you how a field should start. You've got all of these different, let me put these there. You've got all of these different types here of different vegetables with the different colors, with the different styles, and then you've got these cards here. Those are just those star cards. These are the cards I need. These are the cards I need. These are not the cards you're looking for. Guys, my brain is just not here today. It is absolutely not here today. So you've got broken up into hard, and where's medium? Hard, moderate, and easy. And we played, when I first demoed this, we played an easy, and I think we did all 3. I think we did an easy, a medium, and a hard. And so what it is you might have these different requirements for this layout. Once you have this layout, you have to shift them around on your turn, and you'll keep doing that until you meet these requirements and your secret ones. So this one says an odd number of onions. So for example, this starting section has 2 onions. So right away, when the game begins, this one is not being met because it has an even number of onions. This one here says every column has at least 1 red striped card. So currently, columns are this, row is this. So only 1 column actually has that. So this is also not being met. And then this requirement says every row has at least 1 of these green striped down cards. So that is also not being met because only 1 row has them. So currently all 3 of these are not being met. You would need to shift some of these around. Now as soon as you move and get rid of an onion, replace it with a different fruit or a different vegetable, and move around the green cards, as soon as you start to meet them, this configuration will change, and you will add different cards, and you'll move cards without swapping them out. But the whole time you're also going to have one of your own that nobody else knows about. So, I need exactly 4 of these yellow backed cards in the configuration for me to be happy as a chef. And the issue with that is sometimes somebody else's configuration might make them change a card in the tableau or in the visual that messes with yours but fixes theirs. And so you have to get to the point to where everybody's needs are being met, everybody's desires or tastes for the food are being met, which sometimes won't take very long at all, and sometimes will take quite a while. And they're pretty much always possible. It's just that sometimes you're going to have this situation in which how it works for everybody is going to take too long, and there is a timer that you have to abide by. And so these are easy goals, though, and they, make it to where it's usually just one requirement has to be met. Exactly 4 of these yellow cards. But moderate will start to increase the difficulty of that. For example, the number of carrots has to equal the number of orange-backed cards. Or you want to have, just more corn than tomatoes. Or you might want to have a blue card in every corner, in all 4 corners. And so that gets a little bit more involved in terms of what it's requesting. And then on top of that, you have hard ones, and these goal cards are quite difficult. For example, it says it wants to have no identical corn, potatoes, or carrots, which means you can have 2 carrots because that's orange and that's blue, but you can't have 2 blue carrots. Same with 2 other vegetables. That's that's pretty hard to do. And for example, every blue card has to be next to another one. That's difficult when you want every corner to be blue. In this scenario, you would have to have a full sea of blue cards to where at least all of the corners could touch another blue. So when you're trying to combine all of these together, you can get some really tricky combinations that you're trying to fulfill. It's a cool visual puzzle, and because it's time-based, it's just really interesting in terms of how that plays out. So we've got all these moderate, and then we've got these easy soup bases. So once again, you have easy, and you have moderate, and you have hard, and that means that what you are aiming for is going to be difficult. And there are going to be some times where whatever makes you happy is going to make somebody else mad in terms of them not being able to complete what they're going for. And so you have all these cards laid out, and you're manipulating them, and it's good fun. I'm excited to try it out for sure. And you do kind of like, when you get these scenarios, you can kind of move through them and get stars based off of how well you did. But it's this nice little cooperative card game. You have 3 rounds, and they're 5 minutes each. So, you set a timer, and you don't go past the timer. And you're trying to effectively get through all of the stuff and get the star cards. And then you're able to go ahead and try it out and see if you're able to meet those. Starting off easy and then bumping up. Like there is an uptick in difficulty or complexity of what you're trying to do. And you have to be smarter and more efficient with your moves to where they try and, you might be looking at just one goal and you might say, okay, I'm going to take an action that helps me get closer to that goal. But it makes much more sense as you get to the harder difficulties if you can take an action that helps you get towards more than one goal with that one action. And those kinds of moves and that kind of strategy is easier once you've played to start seeing how you might be able to do that. But yeah, in this particular one, there is this extended game that we didn't do because we were just demoing the game that Kim did talk about, though, where it's like a 60-minute 9-round game, and you start on easy difficulty with no star cards. And then you progress to the difficulty up after the 3rd round, and so you're doing 3 rounds of easy, 3 rounds of medium, 3 rounds of hard, and then you're trying to go up all 3 difficulty levels and all 9 rounds and make sure you get to 5 stars by the end of it. Yep. This is really interesting. I like the tastes that you have to match up with your other players, and I like how easy it is to teach, but also how much it can scale up in difficulty whenever you are trying to go to the next step and figure out how hard you want the game to get. So pretty cool. This is, I guess I can put these in the bags. That makes sense. That makes sense to put the cards in bags. What do you know? What do you know? I guess we could put all of these in here. No, these are that's fine. I'll just put all these in here since they're not the food cards. Slot that in there. Slot this in here. So yeah, kind of an unboxing, but not really. It's absolutely more of like a overview, little bit of first impressions. The unboxing is so fast because all you have are just these cards. But yes, I'm excited to try this out with kind of the larger group that I sometimes bring for lighter games. And yeah, excited to see how this feels in not prototype form and get it to the table. Get it to the table. So this is Too Many Cooks, Good Games Publishing, designed by Jarrah Bloomfield. Jarrah Bloomfield. Bloomfield, not Bloomfeld. I think I was saying Bloomfield, but in my head I was thinking of Blofeld. Like, Ernst Blofeld. Cat. Spectre, James Bond. All right, Too Many Cooks, which is not the Eric and Tim sketch that I'm thinking of. Tim and Eric, that's it. Tim and Eric's Awesome Show. Yeah, Too Many Cooks, not that skit. The board game, the card game from Good Games Publishing. Hope you guys have a good one. Hope you enjoy it. I'm going to do a not Rodney Smith box spin. Oh, man. Look, it's so I always get it exactly where I want it to be because it's an awesome box spin. There we go. Hope you guys have a good one. Have a good day, whatever day it is. And hey, go bad. See ya.